philosophers who state with confidence that miracles occur all around us every day. And that with a heightened awareness, we will be able to see these miracles and recognize the angels that walk among us. Hello, I'm Robert Culp. Throughout human history, there have been those fortunate individuals who, in the face of grave and terrible crisis, have felt a guiding hand leading them to safety. These events are commonly referred to as miracles. The consideration of miraculous events is the primary task of staff members at the Miracle Research Center. They investigate miracles from across the country and around the world, review and test each case in an attempt to establish the truth.
Welcome to Could It Be a Miracle? I'm Michelle Wolford, segment producer.
And I'm Bob Evans, producer. Our video crews have been busy traveling across the country gathering stories of the miraculous.
The stories in this show are from ordinary people. In each case, they were not petitioning for a miraculous intervention, nor depending on a heavenly calling. But in each case, they believe they encountered the miraculous.
Now, does that suddenly change these people to extraordinary people, or do miracles occur every day all around us and touch all our lives?
In this week's show, our segments include the story of two Vietnam vets who were asked by a young lady to save her ailing brother.
A woman is nearly killed in a household accident but is rescued by her daughter. Later, her daughter has no knowledge of the experience.
A mother's nighttime premonition saves the life of her baby daughter.
A little girl attempts to convince her father she has seen a ghost.
And a young student develops a bond with her teacher that ultimately saves the teacher from a tragic fate.
For our first segment, Michelle traveled to Chicago, where she met with author Joan Wester Anderson.
Joan is the author of the best-selling book Where Miracles Happen. And one of the many aspects of the supernatural explored in her writing is the element of telepathic communication, the idea of communicating mentally rather than verbally. In our first story, a young girl receives just such a warning from a mysterious voice.
There was a little girl named Katie who, probably 12 or 13 when this happened, she owned a horse, but she boarded it at a neighboring farm where her girlfriend lived. The two of them would ride a little bit in the morning, brush down the horses, give them something to eat, and then hop on the school bus, go to school, come back, ride a little bit more, and then Katie's dad would come on his way from work, pick Katie up at the farm and take her home. So it was a perfect arrangement.
I wish I didn't have to leave him every night.
Well, live with me. I mean, you could ride him anytime you wanted. I'm sure your parents wouldn't mind.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, here, I gotta get him cleaned up before my dad comes to get me.
All right.
You know, someday I'm gonna live in a place like this, and Blaze, of course, will have his own celebrity stall.
And room service. Well, I better get back home. My mom hates when I'm late for supper. Everything gets cold.
All right, I'll just feed him some hay before I leave.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.
Katie had a feeling that something wasn't quite right. Just one of those feelings in the air. And the feeling kept getting worse and worse.
Katie, stay away from the barn. Do not go in there, Katie.
As if there was some real danger around her.
Where's your other half?
Oh, she's eating supper.
Katie, what's gotten into you?
I don't know, Dad.
Is Blaze okay?
No, he's fine. I just don't feel safe here.
But this is practically your home away from home.
Well, Dad, can we just leave, please?
The next day, her father drove her back to the barn, which was his practice, to drop her there so the two girls could ride before school. But he became alarmed when he saw that there were police cars parked on the farm premises.
Everything okay here, officer?
It is now. Yesterday morning, we had a violent inmate escape from the mental institution, and he ended up here.
Here?
Yeah, he was hiding in the barn behind a stack of hay. He had a pitchfork in case somebody got in his way.
My daughter was here alone in the barn yesterday.
You have a very lucky daughter, sir.
Katie told me that she was struck by the fact that she was not afraid of this voice, but she did feel it was a voice she needed to obey. So if Katie's angel had not spoken to her, she would have gone into the loft and probably confronted this man. But instead she was saved from a horrible situation by the voice of an angel.
Jones says angels interact in a variety of ways, whether by physical encounter, the dream state, or, as in this story, a voice.
Why angels choose one means of communication over another seems to depend upon the circumstances of each case.
The circumstances of our next story cause what may be an angel to appear in the image of a departed loved one.
We'll be back with that story after this.
Most of the time, the angel, the guardian angel is really a guardian, what we call an angel. It seems to be non-human, and you will find a couple of cases. But when the angel or the voice appear, people are hearing, or the vision people have is from somebody from their family, in 100% of cases, it's because they had a tremendous love for each other during their lifetime, which means that the love they had on earth is still valid on the other side.
Welcome back.
Our next story comes from our interview with Karen Goldman. Karen is the author of the book Angel Encounters. In our recent visit with her in Arizona, she told a story involving two Vietnam veterans.
It's a case that deals with the idea that angels may appear in the form of departed loved ones in order to deliver an important message. Or perhaps our loved ones may actually be able to bring us messages of their own with the assistance of an angel.
This is a really great story. It was from a radio show I did 4 or 5 years ago. This guy called. He said he never calls radio shows. He was very shy. He was very sweet. He said he was a Vietnam vet, and in 1978, he had this experience that just blew him away.
So how much longer are they going to keep you here, man?
In a couple of days.
My brother's dying.
Is there anything we could do for you?
I'm sorry, honey.
Can you go in and see him?
Sure, where is it?
Room 313. Can you please pray for him? He's an atheist and he doesn't believe.
Sure, honey. We'll go see him right now.
We'll pray for your brother.
Take that to the lab right away, okay?
Look, you don't know us. I'm Thomas, and this is Sam.
We're patients here, too.
Alan's a little hazy right now.
What's wrong with him, Doc?
He has leukemia, throat cancer, both in advanced stages. It's tragic.
He's so young.
And I'm afraid he won't be here tomorrow morning. I'll leave you two alone with him.
Well, we made a promise, didn't we? It's the least we can do.
So they really, did their best with this guy, gave him as much love as they could, and left. So the next day they went back just to see what had happened, and his mattress was rolled up, the room was cleared out, and they asked at the nurse's station what happened to him. And she said, oh, he was moved. And I said, oh, okay. So they really lost touch with him after that.
Alan? Alan from the VA hospital?
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
My friend and I came up to see you in your room. We prayed for you.
They told me about you. 2 GIs, right?
Right. This is amazing. We didn't think you were going to make it.
I know,
the doctor
They're
said.
calling my recovery a miracle. Doctors, nurses, even reporters. Look, you know what? I want to thank you for coming by like that, for, just visiting me, for praying.
It was the least we could do. Your sister was so upset.
My who?
Your little sister. She's the one who asked us to come up and see you.
Her?
Yeah. Yeah, that's her, the cute girl.
No. My sister's been dead for 3 years, man.
It's so mysterious. I mean, angels really have minds of their own. They have their own directives, and whoever is sending angels out into the world, and we know who that is, has ideas about what to do. And, we're the last ones to understand anything.
This case is consistent with other angelic encounters in that the person involved had a major life transformation after the experience.
Exactly. Thomas, the man who prayed for Alan, had been feeling alienated after Vietnam. He said that the miracle not only renewed his faith, but helped him reintegrate into the real world. He credits his new awareness to his encounter with the miraculous.
When we come back, we'll share the story of a woman whose household duties took a tragic turn, leaving her in need of a miracle.
You always have to be careful and not intertwine or interchange the words pray and worship. Angels are not to be worshipped. Only God should be worshipped. If you use prayer, meaning speak to, ask, discuss, as many people consider prayer to be, then yes, it's great to pray to your angels, ask them for things. Just get in touch with them. Pope John the 23rd was well known for a little technique he often used. He would get up in the morning, look at his log for the day, and see how many meetings he had with people of different faiths and different cultures. And when you meet with people of different faiths and different cultures, there's always the possibility that there can be misunderstanding or hurt feelings or something going on. And the Pope always wanted everything to be peaceful and people to get to resolve these things as easily as they could. So in the mornings, when he saw that he would have a day like that, he would ask his angel to go to the angels of all the people that were going to be coming to the Vatican or wherever they were going to be meeting, and ask that all the angels get together and kind of mellow out the situation a little bit, just open the hearts of these beings that they guarded and let them be peaceful and willing to compromise and all of that. And he said that whenever he remembered to do that, his day went very smoothly, very, very smoothly. I remember telling that at a talk once and getting a letter later from a lady who said that she was way overdue for a raise, way, way overdue. And she thought, well, she was always a little hesitant about asking, but if it was good enough for the Pope, it ought to be good enough for her. So she asked her angel one morning to just sort of go to the angel of her boss and just make their meeting one that was kind and dignified and everything. And the upshot was that when she went into the office, the boss said, I am glad you're here, Linda. You are so overdue for a raise. I've already sent one in for you. So she wrote to me and she said, it almost makes me wonder what else I could ask for. And I said, well, ask away. That's part of the protection and the love that they give us.
Welcome back. Our experts say angels can assume any form they wish in order to convey a message.
As we explore our case files, we see stories of mysterious encounters that occur with merely a voice, or cases of departed loved ones returning with a message.
But our next story explores the theory that angels may occasionally assume the image of a living person in order to accomplish a mission. As a single mother with 3 kids, Betty Ransom found out that laundry was a job that never quite seemed to end. This day was just an ordinary day with ordinary laundry demands until the washing machine broke down. With water overflowing onto the floor, Betty reached to shut off the water, but the water valve had been connected by the spill to an exposed electrical cord. Betty was painfully electrocuted and powerless to break her grip from the faucet handle. Unable to call for help, Betty caught a glimpse of her oldest daughter, Sharon, standing in the doorway. Though Betty could not shout out a warning, Sharon calmly walked through the water, reached and unplugged the frayed electrical cord. Then Sharon calmly walked back before Betty regained the ability to speak. When her strength had returned, Betty went outside to thank her daughter.
Sharon! Are you okay? I'm fine. Are you sure you're okay?
Uh-huh.
Thank you for coming in and helping Mommy, but you shouldn't have come in and pulled that plug. That's really, really dangerous, honey.
I didn't do anything.
You didn't pull the plug in the laundry room?
Sharon denied having unplugged the cord. She said she had been playing in the yard the entire time.
Sure.
Yes.
Betty realized that the Sharon that saved her was wearing glasses, something her daughter refused to do. Years later, a doctor took an x-ray of Betty's heart.
Makes sense with near
By the scar tissue he saw, the doctor told Betty such an electrical shock should have killed her. Some might ask why an angel would appear as Betty's daughter. Our experts say a familiar person makes the transition in a crisis easier to cope with.
So the comfort of the person suffering the trauma is possibly a consideration during an angelic intervention.
Coming up next, an eerie account of a life-saving premonition which occurs in a dream.
Stay tuned for more miracles.
Did you know when you look up at the sky and you see a really bright star, that an angel is waving at you? When a butterfly stops flying, then an angel is walking by. Rain means that the angels are crying. Thunder is angels blowing.
Welcome back to Could It Be a Miracle?
Our Our next story comes from Bob's interview with Brad Steiger.
Brad and Sherry Hansen Steiger are the authors of numerous books, including Amazing Moms. This story concerns a young couple with a new baby. They were doting parents, but on this particular night, a dream pushed a mother's awareness to a higher level.
Sherry and I often receive stories of a mother's love that have to do with that controversial area of precognition, as we call it, or seeing the future. Is it possible to see the future? If it is, can you change it? Or is everything ordained? Is everything predestined? We have a number of interesting cases that deal with mothers who, with their love, energy, seem to be able to change the future as they had seen it. One case that comes immediately to mind had to do with a young couple that had just moved into an apartment. They're in the process of remodeling it. And they've just had a child, and this is a small infant we're talking about.
I can see the smile. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my good, oh, it's okay, sweetie. Do you know how much I love you, baby? Oh, it's okay. Oh, Argy. Come here. Oh, it's okay.
They haven't got around to totally remodeling, but it will be their nursery. And there's a rather large light fixture that's in the room they have yet to replace. They went to bed one night and they went into a sound sleep. Then the mother has a dream. She looks at the clock in the dream and she sees that it's a certain time. She had been dreaming that the light fixture above the child had fallen, had somehow given way and fallen and severely injured their infant.
She's sleeping with us here tonight.
As she gains full consciousness, she sees again the clock time and she says, no, I saw a time. It's not now, but I saw a time and I know it's tonight. And unless we move the child, the baby's going to be injured, if not killed. They both manage to fall back asleep, and then they're all awakened by the sound of a crash. The wife wakes up. Now the clock is exactly the time that she saw in the dream. The crash, as they go to investigate, is indeed the light fixture that has fallen on the crib, and if the child had not been removed and placed between them, would either have been severely injured or even killed. So again, what is the correct answer? Did she see the possible future? Did she receive a warning that she must act or the child would be injured and even killed? Or did she indeed see the future and her mother's love was able to change it?
There's no way to fully explain the telepathic link between a mother and child. Is a mother's intuition hard at work even in sleep?
It's what our experts call precognition. The telepathic warning in this case defies logic. Lisa doesn't have an explanation, but she does know that the warning she received that night saved her baby's life.
And as Brad pointed out during his interview, this story brings up the question of a dream state offering a mother an opportunity to change the future. If she had ignored the dream warning, the future would have been played out as she saw it in the dream.
When we come back, we'll have the story of a little girl's attempts to convince her father she's seen a ghost.
Jake's guardian angel, before he came to St. John with us, his guardian angel probably told him to cheer up because he probably missed his friends. And then when my guardian angel saw me, he probably just touched my head and said, "Hey Tony, why don't you make friends with him?" So I guess just said I will. And he looked like David on my soccer team. And I asked him his name and I said, "Hi Jake," and then I got to sit by him and I became best friends with him.
Welcome back.
This next segment comes from Michelle's interview with author Richard Sennett.
Richard, as you may remember, has documented many stories from the old California missions. This case is a personal one to him. It involves his mother as a child and her attempts to explain the appearance of a ghost. I met with Richard at the Levis Adobe Historical Museum, where he told me stories from his book, The Haunted Southland. He shared with me one special story from his mother's childhood.
I think supernatural is maybe the wrong term. The supernatural really isn't super at all, it's natural. It's very much a part of the normal world around us.
Have you ever experienced anything on a personal level that you would describe as miraculous?
At this point in time, I have not experienced what you would call a miracle, but I'm still waiting. My mother did tell a story which I'd have to say was pretty miraculous. She's gone now, but back in the 1930s, she came from a very large family. They had rented an old farmhouse in Orange County, which at that time was very rural. It was just a little group of 4 or 5 houses out in the middle of nowhere. And she, of course, had one of the upstairs bedrooms, a very small one. And the first night that they moved in,
So, skinny pig, right here. Thank you. Sarah, bedtime.
This is starting to feel like home already, isn't it?
Slowly but surely.
You know what? I think that's enough for tonight. It's getting late.
I hear there's a picture show in town.
Well, why don't we see how much we get done tomorrow? Now, why don't you go ahead and get ready for bed, okay?
she was in bed and woke out of a sound sleep to see the spirit of a man standing at the very end of her bed.
You know, we can't afford to waste any food. Your father looks very...
I'll finish it later, I promise. It's just, I don't feel good right now.
This move has been the hardest on you, hasn't it?
It's not that, Mother. I like it here.
Well, then what is it?
Last night,
Yeah?
I saw someone in my room.
Oh, honey, you were just dreaming.
I wasn't dreaming, Mother. I was awake. I saw him. An old man smiling at me at the foot of my bed.
I'm sorry. Hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, Father, it's okay.
Okay? All right. Well, I'm off to work then. Bye, you.
She, of course, told her parents about this. It was very frightening to her. And they, of course, questioned her about it, and a lot of it they dismissed as a dream, sort of a new house and surroundings. But the same thing happened the next night.
New home, new rules? Since when did you stay up past midnight?
I'm not sleepy.
Oh, honey. Why don't you crawl into bed? I'm gonna turn off the light and you go to sleep. We have a lot to do tomorrow.
Okay, good night, Mother.
She again told her father about it, and he now began to be a little more open to the idea of such things, and so he decided to sleep with her.
I've tied this end of the string around my big toe, and you've got the other end under your pillow. So if your late night visitor shows up again tonight, you pull the string and wake me up. We'll settle this once and for all. Good night.
Good night, Father.
She, of course, pulled on the string as hard as she could, but her father, he worked for the WPA. He was doing manual labor, very exhaustive work, and of course, he was sound asleep.
What do you want?
Hi, I'm Gladys, your next door neighbor. I just came over to say hello and welcome. And hello and welcome.
Gladys, how nice of you.
Thank you.
Actually, my daughter and I plan to stop by and introduce ourselves after I finish the laundry and to ask you a rather strange question.
Okay, honey? Well, is there an old man who lives around here? He wears a suit and hat and smokes an old pipe, and he has kind, gentle eyes.
My goodness, you just described my grandfather, right down to the old pipe. He lived with me until he passed away 2 weeks ago. Tuberculosis.
He had passed away of tuberculosis just weeks before they had moved in. And they later checked the family out. There was a terrible disease back in the 1930s. They didn't have the antibiotics we have today. And they did check my mother out, and she did have it. In the earliest stages, they were able to treat it. And she credits her life being saved by that information. But interestingly, there was kind of a side note. The next night, another apparition appeared, but it wasn't the man. My mother described it as a beautiful woman, all dressed in white, with a large skirt, and she had long flowing hair and a star on her forehead.
Rest easy, child. You will be very sick, but you will get better soon.
My mother wasn't frightened of anything. She knew that this was her guardian angel. And after a time, it vanished away. She knew everything would be all right, and it was.
So actually, the apparition was the factor that led to Sarah being diagnosed with tuberculosis.
It's interesting that the young girl did not even know the identity of the apparition. Perhaps that lack of familiarity led her to share the story of the ghostly visitor with her parents, and that in turn led to the eventual diagnosis of the disease.
I also like the fact that Richard is sharing with us a story of the miraculous from his own personal family history. If you have stories of the miraculous to share with us, please get a pen or pencil handy for our address, which will be at the end of the show.
When we come back, the close connection between teacher and student is put to the test.
Welcome back. Our next story again involves the concept of a premonition.
We've heard about the tremendous bond between parent and child and how that relates to the miraculous.
But what is also amazing is the power of friendship and how that bond is able to overcome equally impossible odds. On the last day of school, the substitute teacher, Eleanor Anderson, gave her favorite student a gift.
You ready?
Yep.
Belinda, whose mother had been dead for 5 years, had developed a special relationship with Ms. Anderson.
You said you wanted a picture of me. There's one inside.
That's you?
Mm-hmm. When I was your age, they used to call me Metal Mouth.
But you're so pretty.
I grew up. So will you.
I want to be just like you. And sometimes I wish you were my mom.
Hi. You must be Ms. Anderson. I'm Don, Belinda's dad.
Hello.
Look what Ms. Anderson gave me. Isn't it pretty?
It's nice, eh?
Oh, before I forget, I also want to give you my address. Visit me, okay? Whenever you can.
Belinda's father, Donald, was concerned that another attachment would end in yet more heartbreak for his daughter.
You want to go see her, don't you? I'm sorry, honey. I'm worried about you.
Then there was Donald's dream. He clearly saw Belinda running from a house, screaming for help.
Somebody help me. Please, please, help me. Please, please help me.
Look, we'll talk about it later. I gotta go.
Belinda's life continued, though she seemed more disconnected.
So if you need anything, give me a call. Okay. See you guys.
Bye.
As Ms. Anderson waited for her next substitute assignment, she busied herself with household chores. A failed gas line began to fill the air with deadly fumes.
Did you hear the phone ring?
Hello? Yes, it is. Yes, I am. Of course. Go ahead. Let me get your address. Okay, I will be right over there. What was your name?
Who was that?
Oh, there's a gas leak across town. It sounds serious. I've got to get right over there.
Why'd they call you? You don't check gas leaks.
No, pretty weird, huh? You didn't hear the phone ring.
The lethal gas took its effect on Ms. Anderson. Belinda was supposed to go to a normal full day of school. But she was upset and frightened. She sat down to think it through. It wasn't the fact that her glasses were broken, it was something more. Something to do with her friend, Miss Anderson. Belinda decided to skip school.
I can't see, and I have to get here. Can you help me?
Have a seat. This bus goes right where you're going.
Ms. Anderson, she felt, needed her.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'm Donald Mills. I'm a maintenance super for the county utilities office. I'm supposed to be checking a gas leak over on the north side. My truck just died on me
When did you get the call?
about a half hour ago.
Let's go.
When she got off the bus, she still had to find the address.
Miss Anderson! Miss Anderson! Wake up, Miss Anderson! Please, wake up!
When he got out of the police car, Donald saw his dream vision. Belinda running from the house.
Somebody help me! Please, please, help me! Please, please help me! Please, help me!
Are you all right? How did you get here?
It's Miss Anderson. She's in there.
She's unconscious. I'll turn off the gas and call an ambulance. You get her outside.
Donald carried Ms. Anderson out into the fresh air.
Belinda? Mr. Mills? What happened?
Somebody called me about a gas leak in your apartment. They gave me your address. Wait a minute, this isn't your address. This is nowhere near your place.
Then, Dad, how did you know to get here?
I don't know. For some reason, I told the police officer to drive right to your building. I don't know why.
I'd say the two of you took care of me pretty well.
This is one of those cases in which so many different factors contributed to what would seem to be a miracle.
Not only that, but it seems, at least from this story, that we should look down the road a bit after a miraculous occurrence to gain a better understanding of its true implications.
If these stories have had an impact on you, if you've been touched by the cases in this show,
then you're probably asking yourself the same question we ask at the end of every program. Could it be a miracle?
The study of miracles is not a cut and dried science. The Miracle Research Center staff must rely on logic and the laws of nature as they seek to understand the miraculous. But they must also carry a degree of faith. We have faith that you will be back next time for more of our intriguing cases. Until then, think about what you've just seen and ask yourself, could it be a miracle? Until next time, I'm Robert Culp.
Laudamus Dei.